Welcome home, daddies. Welcome home, daddies. Welcome home, daddies.
Ooh, I like that. And daddies, I have missed you so very much. I know you've missed me on this podcast. Good to be back with all of you, and good to be back with my favorite person of all time, because we are both 0-2. How we doing, Ass?
We're 0-2. We're 0-2 and...
Together. We're 0-2 together.
No, we're 0-4 together, bud. And... Well, I don't want to spoil my, to get into the Malort moment and make it all about... I don't want to get into it yet. And I don't know about you, but you know the old saying, misery loves company? Well, our guest today is also in this misery with us. We have the bald boy himself, Mr. Room 40, Matt Kreutzer on this podcast. Matt, what's up, buddy?
Hello, gentlemen. I am happy to be featured, but not happy under the circumstances.
Yeah, Matt got on here a little bit ago and said, "It's so good to see you guys. Happy to do this." And I asked him if he was actually happy to be on this, and that was his response. Matt, you are the first new daddy to be on the podcast. You said you've listened to a couple. Any beginning words, anything that you want to preface or throw out there? We'll also give you some parting words, any words of wisdom you may have at the end. But how are you enjoying the league thus far? And yeah, are you happy you joined? I know you don't like ESPN.
Yeah, that part's true. I do want to say I've been a commissioner of my own league on NFL.com for 13 seasons now, and I hate ESPN with all my heart. However, I have never been around a group of individuals who enjoy fantasy football more than this group. And that is refreshing. So I am very happy to be in this league. I can't stand that frickin' ESPN app. I'm already struggling with it. But you can sense that from week one when I had in Mr. Kamara. But yeah, it's great to be here. It's great to have all you guys so in love with football. It's refreshing. So yeah. Thanks for letting me be here. I appreciate it.
That was really sweet. That was very nice.
Well, we appreciate having you. You may have the most fantasy football under your belt. I mean, 13 years going. Is this year 14 for you? I mean, most of us were. I mean, besides Brandon, we're hardly through grade school at that point.
Yeah, and you have the most. You have, I believe, I could be wrong. Somebody correct me. But I think you have the most Super Bowls attended under your belt too.
I do. I have yet to been to one where my team wins, but going to 2 Super Bowls is great. Just I'd like to have the jersey I'm wearing come out victorious, but
yeah,
one of these days, right?
Well, I when you finally said yes, I remember the moment, actually remember the moment that you said yes, because you turned to me when we were finished up our little scramble and you were like, "Okay, I'll do it." And I was like, "Thank God we needed 14 anyway." But when you said no last year,
happy to fill the box.
Yeah, no, you weren't filling the box because we had asked you, and I was like, "Come on, dude, join. We want you. We want you in." We knew that you would enjoy it, or hope that you would enjoy it. But just wait till the public ridicule that'll come from doing this podcast is unforeseen. So.
Oh, joy.
Yeah. Kamish, you got any words before we get into this is the sad boys club. This is the 0-2, too many losses. 0-6 guys here on this call. I bet cumulative points wise, I think, I know you pointed it out. Anyway, this is going to bum me out. This is going to be a sad podcast.
Blake, really quick. I was just talking to someone the other day about how one, really loved you, but two, I was very impressed all the time when I lived with you that you and Glenn could come up with a song about anything. So could you quickly give us a quick, verse, not even a verse, a couple lines about how sad you are about our season, parodying a song?
Yeah. And you know what? We're going to put some post-production effects on here. So here it is.
Nothing makes me feel better than a good song.
Yeah.
You know, that's why you put on depressing music when you're sad, right?
Yeah.
I'm kind of emotional from it. I'm not going to lie. It really hit home.
Yeah. I think it's time. I think we gotta get into this Malort moment, this perfect pour. Outside of the Malort moment of this group of guys, which this is also the perfect pour. It's great to see you guys. I will kick us off with this is going to be a very selfish Malort moment, but I just need to set a scene for you guys. So I'm in 3 leagues right now, 3 fantasy leagues. As of Sunday night, so I'm driving back because I was in Indianapolis for a reason. And I was driving back super late. We had just a long day. We were not due to get into Asheville until like 3 a.m. and I had an early morning meeting and I was like, I just not like things were not going well. And I got in the car. We started driving about the time that the Bears they were the Bears just being the Bears. So I was like not happy. And then like the news just keeps rolling in and I'm watching and I like, it's just not getting any better for my fantasy team. None of them, no 3 of them. So that happened, and I'm like, wow, I'm going to lose at least 2 of my 3 games again, go 1-1, 1-1, and then 0-2 in this league. And then I'm like, screw it, I'm done with football tonight. I flip over to the Cubs game, who's in a very tight pennant race, and they also lost. And then we hit traffic. It was just a really rough Sunday. And on top of all of it, then Sunday evening, was it Sunday evening? When did I think they played? Yeah, it was Sunday evening, right? With when Saquon got hurt and I watched him go down, wherever it was. I think I was driving, and I was like, "Fuck this! My entire team is literally falling apart." And yeah, so I'm gonna say like the injuries, but just like my Sunday was not great. And I'm gonna say it's because we weren't at church in the morning, boys. We were too busy recovering. No, we weren't recovering. Either way.
Hey, speak for yourself.
Yeah, I know. It's because I was out of state. I'm a North Carolina boy now. But yeah, that's mine.
Yeah, there's no churches in Indiana. That's fair.
Yeah. No, there's only
we have none here.
Oh yeah. No, there's no churches that I believe in. I think it's all I-Town and Catholic churches. So
that's fair.
Yeah. That was a shout out to you, Matt. Because I know you were there front pew. I think you gave the sermon on Sunday.
I was the priest. I substituted.
Yeah, that's what I thought so. Seb, what'd you have this week?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think there's a lot of different things, and there's a lot of different areas around the NFL that I could go. But for me, little did you know, so on school every morning, I give live announcements. They show a video of me, and students watch it in their classrooms. And as I'm giving a recap of my high school football game that was being played on Friday night, I was recapping the defensive stats. And then so in front of the entire school, I said that 2 senior boys had big sacks. Two senior boys had big sacks. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that CPS got called on me and I might lose my job soon. But I know Keegan knows what it's like to be on paid administration leave. So hopefully I can get some advice from that direction.
Well,
nice.
Yeah, they're seniors. So they've grown.
Senior citizens, I assume.
Yeah.
Hangy sacks, dangly sacks.
Dangly, yes.
Matt, have you had Malort before? Have I made you had Malort?
No, I've consensually taken Malort many times.
Oh, that's so sexy, bud. Because it leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
Right, from some Duroc losses as well. Those were less consensual.
Yeah.
But yeah, me and Malort, we go way back.
Malort moment leaves a bad taste in your mouth. What was yours? Did you have something this week in the league?
I identify as a humble man. I am not one to get too aggressive or to shit talk. But on Friday, I had a few drinks in me, and I had to let Peyton know that my main man, Kirk Cousins, was here to play. And I had zero stress about winning this week. And I was talking to all of you guys, and I was like, man, I finally got my first win in the league. And then Peyton just happens to go freaking crazy. And I think he had it felt like 3,000 points on me or something. And it left a bad taste in my mouth because I used, some foul language. I shit talked, and then I lost again. And I'm hanging out with you guys on the pod as a bunch of losers. And I'm not happy, Bob.
You know what? That's fair. And you know what I just realized, Seb? Is this the new podcast curse? is that once you're
Ooh.
on the week, so last year, a little context, Matt, whoever we had on the podcast, the next week would get fucking blown out, just obliterated. But Peyton was on last week, and so maybe it's the reverse podcast curse. The reverse
That'd be
curse.
good.
Is this the reverse
The
curse?
reverse curse.
This-
Reverse curse.
I like the reverse curse. That'd be great for me.
Matt, I thought you were going to win too. I think we all did. And that didn't work out for anyone. That didn't work out for anyone at all. But you know what's good to watch?
I will say,
go ahead.
This is evidence that there's no, rigging of the league from the commissioner and from the ass and from another former commissioner, because we're all here and we're the only people that haven't won yet. So
That's
the truth.
Matt. What's good to wash the Malort down more than a nice crispy boy? Perfect pour. You want some more? Well, something good in the last week.
Something good in the actual NFL itself. Got to see some good defense from my Colts for a bit. I got to see the Bears lose, which is always good for me. And I got to spend the weekend sitting on the couch drinking beer and watching football on Sunday. So that was my perfect pour. It was nice and refreshing because I did not get to do that much week one. So
Yeah,
that was my perfect pour.
Oh, that's nice. Feels good.
That's how Sundays should be sent.
They should be not spent in the car, stuck in traffic in the middle of gosh dang Kentucky. I hate Kentucky so much, and including people that are from there and went to school there and have their law degrees from there. Commish?
Yeah. Again, a lot of different angles you could take here. Just an appreciation, I suppose. I've been a fan of the Dolphins. I don't say fan. I've just appreciated what they've been doing the last couple of years. All the attention they got last year. But big Mike McDaniels fan. Arguably one of the biggest people's coaches in the league. And he got done with his interview at halftime during the Dolphins game, and he just dead sprinted into the locker room. Wanted to be with the guys. Don't blame him. But I just appreciate the effort. Someone that's asking a lot of his team. He's going to go out there and try to compete with arguably the fastest weapons in the NFL. So, yeah, big Mike McDaniel fan. He might have topped the fastest time out of the group.
Ooh, he's got a new 40, got a new top 40. That's good. You gotta love Mike McDaniel, right? Like, it's a lovable personality in the league. For myself, mine is I got to hang out with you guys and a number of guys in the league because we had a daddy get married this last week. And that daddy is also 2-0 and also is performing himself in many of the things that we've looked at in the analytics. So he's doing pretty well. I guess I should have gotten married a little later because that luck needs to rub off. And so here is just a little something for not tailor-made, Aaron Butsich.
I'm hurting, baby. I'm broken down. I need your loving, I need it now.
Wow, that was great, Matt. Do you remember when Blake actually got into the Colts Stadium, though?
I saw the evidence of that, and that was quite incredible.
So, can this be used against me? I don't know. Legally?
No.
Okay, well,
Don't admit to it.
I don't admit to anything.
Hypothetically,
we're gonna. Seb, if we can't do anything else, we can predict some winners here, and that might be where the successes from my season comes.
Yep.
We're gonna start with our bald baddie, Mr. Matt. We're gonna start with his matchup against the roommate, Matt and Jack. This one should be interesting. I played my roommates in the past, and I think, Seb, that's how you ended up with that bruise, right? That scar.
Yep.
Yeah.
Multiple.
Matt, who do you like in your room 40 and you room for these Jacks? Who you taking?
Oh, believe me, there is no room for these Jacks. I am getting my first win this week. My middle guys have been performing as well, like that Ayuk guy and that Kincaid guy, Josh Jacobs, but room 40 is taking the dub, and I'm still hoping Jackson's going to move into the new house with me after it because he might be a little flustered. But room 40's got it by 4 points easy.
By 4 points, you said easy. You said 4 points and then you said easy. I love that confidence. And if nothing else, maybe he just moves up with Michigan Meg a little sooner, right?
I hope not, but
all right, that's not a bad pick. Of course, you're going to go with yourself, Matt. Kamish, how you feeling about these guys?
I like both of these teams a lot. Really curious why room 40 is where he is, but I think this week he might be stuck in room 39. We're not going to quite get there for room 40. He's not going to quite crawl out of the spot, even though I do love him. Very kind guy. I think Jack pulls out the roommate win this week. I just think there's too many potentials for his team to do really well. I like Tua this week. I like Stephon and CD. I think they're all three going to blow up. I think that's enough for Jax to carry on the win.
Hot take into it. Because how do you think? I know he is just one of the pieces of the puzzle, but Tua without Jalen with Waddle potentially.
I think Tyreek could go for 300 himself, so not too worried.
All right. I think with the Brandon Ayuk injury for room 40, I think you're right. I think it leaves him at room 39. I'm sorry, buddy. Sorry, Mattster. But that's kind of where it goes. I think this team. Matt, I think your team is going to breathe new life here. I think it's next week that the Kamara suspension's done. I think that's going to open you up just like you want to be. Open you up to room 41.
Yeah,
we are going to move down the line to we're doing all the lovable losers first. Kamish, him, and E-Dog. That's Evan and Seb here. Yeah, Matt, what are you feeling here?
I was looking through the lineups there, and it's the battle of the kickers because he's got the Colts Gay kicker, he's got the Ravens Tucker kicker. I was reading down everything, and I think Justin Herbie fully loaded, and that Jamar Chase. I think they got it in the bag as long as Seb drops the Colts defense because I'm not confident in their abilities. E-Dog, he had a good run, but I think his time's up. Seb by 7.
All right, Kamish. There you go.
This one's a no-brainer.
Yeah, Matt's got your back. Matt's got your back. I assume you got your own. What are you thinking?
Yep, of course. I think I'm crawling out of this 0-2 rut here. I appreciate Matt having my back. I would assume that you're going to have the same, but who knows? You might like E-Dog. Not sure. Again, I just think I have a lot of good matchups. We saw the potential of Brian Robinson Jr. last week. I think he does have a tough matchup versus Buffalo, but I think there's going to be enough for him to find the end zone. Look for Jamar Gibbs to get really involved this week with Montgomery possibly being out. And I really do believe that Jamar Chase is going to get opened up sooner. He's too talented not to get schemed the ball more often.
Man.
So I think there's a lot of good things there.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth for yourself. With Jamar Gibbs, I worry about your team's longevity. Just in the means of looking through your bench, but I know you're on those waivers. You might even get into the trade game, right? Because it looks like Demon's going to be the guy for Detroit, but Gibbs is good.
I disagree, but
okay. Well, I'll give you throw in a crispy George Washington who's on the $1 bill. Is that George?
Sure, yeah.
Abraham Lincoln, crispy 5. Crispy 5
okay.
that once Demon is back and fully healthy, and we can talk about the definition of fully healthy on another day, but that he outsnaps.
No, we can. Well, I will say this: at the end of the season, Jamar Gibbs has more points than Montgomery.
Why? I'm not talking points. I want to talk snaps. I want to talk snaps.
Because I don't think snaps is going to be accurate.
Okay, that's fair.
For who?
Okay, TBD on this one because it sounds like he is going to be out next week. So we'll see. I think Demon's going to be the guy, but Demon is the guy. I love Demon. That being said, he is still going to get points, and I think that it could be a Khalil Herbert situation that it was last year with Demon, where Jamar might, if nothing else, he might outscore him week over week. But you got Brian Robinson's fine. And the last thing that you said that I totally agree with, which is why I'm going to go with you over this not outstanding, but not awful E-Dog team, except for the beer, the Michelob. I think Jamar picks it up. He is too consistent of a player across the board. The question being, is that this week or is that in a couple weeks? Because it sounds like Joey B might be out as well. So I think that would be your one room for concern. Just like, does Jamar get it going now? But hey, you got Olave there in your back pocket, and you got to feel comfortable with that. I know you're going to get the Colts defense out of there. So next one, the last of the lovable losers and the last in the league, both by points scored last weekend overall. Your ass, and if I can't do anything, my team will just continue to be ass and broken. Versus the newly injured Nick Chubb and Glenn Shins, the G Train Rats. Previous roommate matchup as well. What are you feeling for myself v the G Train?
I hate to say it, but you might continue to be 0-3. That Jay Ford is a dog, and I saw him running yesterday, and he had it in the bag. I don't have very much faith in Justin Fields in general. I got Glenn by 6.
All right, Matt. Matt, I understand your choice here. Asheville, I just got my refill, my Adderall refill. So we're refreshed, unfortunately for myself, and I'll just throw that. We'll see what happens this week. I have so many question marks. The reality is that my team, I was very, very happy with them, and it has been a few key injuries, and this is what happens. This is part of fantasy. I feel like there have been a lot. It's just been, unfortunately, heavy on my side. And being a 14-man league, and on top of all of that, Justin is not performing anywhere near where he would have been expected to. I feel like I'm still on the struggle bus. I am trying to play some waivers. We'll see how that pans out. But playing Calvin, we have a couple pending trades out there. We'll see if anything pans out. But for the sake of keeping Glenn humble, I'm going to choose myself. But it is not. It is one of those bets that you put in, and you're like, if this hits, awesome. But I'm not expecting it to. I'm putting like $1.50 down. I'm putting the last rounded cents that you have in your account just to like make the parlay go up a little bit more. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I get that, and I respect that. I appreciate you picking you. I would be worried if at this point you didn't pick you. I really would. There's
somebody's. I got to win something.
Exactly. But just like you said, I am worried about, especially your running back position. I do think there's potential for Justin Fields to potentially have a shootout in Kansas City this week. Look for him to score more points than expected. But I mean, you're starting Sam Pirine and Kenneth Gainwell, two guys that virtually went outside of the Cincinnati community, and last week, two guys that were virtually unknown. No one was looking at, no one was expecting to contribute in a huge way. So I think even the Jerome Ford pickup for the Rats, I know, Chubb going down hurts, but I think there's too many good matchups there. Calvin Ridley's and Houston, look for him to blow up too.
Big shout out to Glenn for his Draft Daddy Classic pickup. Mine with Kenny Gainwell, and then he ended up the day after I picked him up. They were like, he didn't report to practice. All right, next one, another roommate buddy, and then the defending champ Team Keegs. Oh no, sorry, it's not TaylorMade. It's not Taylor. Aaron, change your goddamn name.
Told you.
All right, TaylorMade the pup. We got Aaron versus the defending champ, the projected champ versus the defending champ in Team Keegs. What you feeling there, bald boy?
I would say Aaron's still on the wedding high, and just real quick shout out to me for jumping Aaron's car the next morning. I don't know if they were out in the car late at night or what, but I had to, jump his car.
You jumped it like long? Did you jump it long ways or width ways?
So I started on my hands doing a handstand, and then I did like a triple axle 360 tuck.
From hood to trunk.
What
were you saying, Seb?
I was just thinking you came up from behind and jumped it. Maybe got some of your buddies, smashed out a window.
I just stole it. Yep.
Well,
but no,
what are you feeling for the matchup as you're going hood to trunk over his car?
Keegan's lineup was looking a little iffy for me. I didn't see as much consistency as I would have liked to have seen, so I got Aaron by 4.
And Keegan lucked. I don't remember if he said this in the blog, Seb, because it all meshes together. Keegan lucked out last week playing me because I think he was the next lowest or pretty close to it.
Yeah, and I kind of noticed that. I said he's got some inconsistencies on the team, and I forget who it was, but somebody did well that I didn't think should have. So I think Keegan's a nice guy and everything, but I got Aaron winning this one.
Yeah.
These are both again solid teams. Keegs came away with a win last week. It could potentially be the only team or only win that he gets all season. That's a really hot take, but he may get Christian Watson back this week if that's the truth. Look for him to outperform his projected total. I just don't think it's going to be enough for what TaylorMade brings to the table. CMC has been quite literally unstoppable this week. And as I put in the blog, TaylorMade has just been consistent all around. There's been players that have just been reaching their projections, maybe not doing a ton, not really blowing up, but really not hitting a huge floor. So look for TaylorMade to tailor-make their way into the win column.
I'm right there with you. Nothing against Josh Allen. Happy that he performed, but I'm not changing my thoughts on him winning the league as it stands today. We'll see what happens later down, but CMC cannot be stopped. He literally is just like treating this like he's a senior playing out here with a bunch of freshman boys. Dak's been doing just fine. Like Dak has been throwing up fine numbers. There's no question in my mind in this one. Like you said, his guys aren't overperforming. They're not underperforming though. He's at least matching his points, which is a lot of time what you need to win in this league. If you break 100, you got a chance at winning. If you don't break 75, you're gonna fucking lose. That was for me. All right. Next one for you, we've got Victorville and hang on, name change alert. I think Chris's team is now bowing down to the younger brother. He's Ben Bird. He's Trayvon. He's Trayvon Diggs now, which I guess he could have been Trayvon before. He just was nice Diggs before. Just maybe all the Diggs. Yeah. Either way, name change alert here. Name change. Chris, let us know in the comments because you listen to this.
Are we saying that Stephon is not nice anymore? Is that the distinction here?
According to Matt, that's where he's losing his 4 points. Is that Jack's not Stephon's gonna? Yeah. All right. So in Victorville, the Crisp Trayvon lover Stephon hater. What you feeling?
I just want to give Vic a shout out because he took a lot of heat during draft night, and I'm looking at his team, and I think he's pending Lamar Jackson's healthy. I didn't know he was injured. He's got a big Q by his name, but he's got Lamar, Tyreek Hill. He's got Cincinnati kicker Evan McPherson. I got Vic winning by 7 today.
Yeah. Victorville's team is a shock. He did. You're right, Matt, in this that he got a lot of flack, and part of it might have been just the unrelenting defense of Lamar, but you can't disagree with results. And I'm looking across this team still, and it's still a decent team. It's still a great team. He's got Christian Kirk on the bench, which nonetheless, when I look at this. This is going to be a close one. It's going to be closer than what I think even they're projecting. I think this will be within a few points, but that's just because I think Patrick Mahomes is going to light the fuck up. And how do you not love Puka Nacua? How do you not love him? Oh. I hate to turn against Puka Nacua in this one, and I'm not going to. I'm going to go with the name change. I think he's having a change of faith. Purely because I think that Patrick Mahomes has potential to just like he hasn't really turned on yet. I think he still had a partially hurt Kelsey. Nice Diggs? No, Trayvon Diggs. What do you got?
I like the little switch up at the end. You kept me on my toes there.
Kept myself on my toes.
I have to side with you. I have to side with you in a lot of those ways. Writing the Puka Nacua article got me a little jacked. Not gonna lie, but he has not found the end zone. I think he finds the end zone this week against Cincinnati, against a struggling team. I like that you picked Patrick Mahomes to blow up against your Bears. Shows how much faith you have for them and yourself. Victorville has a lot of great matchups. I think both of these teams outscore everyone else in the team or in the league this week. I just think the Ravens have a little bit more trouble against Indianapolis than people are going to think. But I'm still going with Trayvon. Yeah, screw Stephon. Go Trayvon. Stephon. Ooh, the cock's off. The dick off. It's got to be the dick off.
The dick off. The dick off of the week is the PP show and Sir Cox a lot. How you feeling here?
Well, I think a wiener is going to win this matchup.
Hey.
And they're going to be the winner. Sorry, that's terrible. I agree with Matt a lot here. I think Anthony Richardson is a big question mark. Jalen Waddle is a big question mark. Those have been consistent performers for Taylor. He's, big high upside, which is kind of how we drafted his team. I just think there's too many question marks. We don't know what the replacements are going to look like at the time of recording here. And, Kirby does have a pretty solid team. A lot of people that have exceeded expectations on the year look forward to that to continue, even against some tough defenses this week. I think Kirby takes it. And Kirby, I love your Jake Moody pickup at your kicker. Big Moody guy.
Big Moody. Well, I'm not going to be moody with you because I'm agreeing. Again, I think there's just too many question marks. I think that there's potential still in this PP team. PP, not the Cox. I think there's potential in the PP team, but with the Jalen Waddle question mark, the Richardson, he'd have to stream somebody. He doesn't have a lot of depth in his bench. I think that it's a struggle, and I think it's. I know the trades. I intentionally don't throw out good trades right away. It's to get a conversation going. It's to get your attention, and he has refused, arguably rightfully so. The only way that he has a chance, I think, is if Kelsey is the number one target and also the number one scorer for Patty Mahomes this week. But I hope Cox is healed. What are we feeling? What are we feeling here, Matt?
I think this is going to be a close game and or a close matchup. Pardon me. But as a fellow Colts fan, as my roommate PP, he's got a lot of blue on that team. I don't know if Richardson's going to play. He doesn't currently have a backup for him. Even though they're in the division, I do love Trevor Lawrence and Mr. Devontae Adams. So I got Sir Cox a lot, but he's only winning by a point. It's going to be a close one. Taylor and I are going to watch Monday Night Football together, and he's going to throw his phone. I think he's going to lose last minute.
Oh, I can't wait for that. Please get us some footage of that if you can. Or have him record his phone while he throws it. That'd be some fun stuff.
That'd be good.
All right, it is time for the matchup of the week, and we got the 2-0, the Chicago Dogs, a good old Saddlebrook boy showdown here. Tarkington Crawdaddies versus the 2-0 Chicago Dogs. Who are you feeling here?
I don't know who picked the matchup of the week, but you did a great job because this is a tough matchup. Both got some dogs on the team.
Thank you. First off, that's me. I appreciate that.
You did a great job. This is a solid matchup. Not only with their records, but just with what they got going for them. I know the app shows the line probability, this, that, the other, but this is the one that I was not convinced with upon immediately looking. I got a sour taste in my mouth from them Crawdaddies, and I'm kind of bitter about it. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to go Dogs. And despite what I said earlier, I'm giving Dogs by 7. I think they're going to just go crazy here. I think that Metcalf fella, he's going to go off. Jalen Hurts is always a good time. I think them Dogs got it in them.
Diamond Dogs, baby.
Mount up. Let's go.
Oh. Good take, Bald Daddy. Commissioner, how you feeling, bud?
I feel great. Thanks for asking. We should always check up on each other, daddies. But we
Yeah.
should really check up on the Crawdaddies and the Dogs after this week. I just got a feeling. Sorry to disagree with you, Matt, but I got a feeling the Crawdaddies are going to eat them Dogs up for lunch. They're going to put them on the grill. We're not going down south to eat them Crawdaddies. We're going up to Chicago, and Crawdaddies are taking them lunch. I just think the big questions between these two teams are the running backs. You got Bijan and a question mark with David Montgomery versus Miles Sanders and Roschon Johnson. Don't know if I loved what I saw from Miles this last week. Roschon is a big question as he's not even a starting running back. He's more like RB3 in Chicago. Bijan is going to tear it up. I think Amon-Ra and Keenan for the Crawdaddies are too much to handle. I think they do well. I don't think this is a high-scoring matchup, but I think they do well enough to pull it off.
All right. This is where I totally I guess we were sunk up till now, because I think that the Chicago Dogs are going to continue to bring the Jalen Hurts down on their opponents. I think that the crawdaddies have too many question marks, and I don't think Joe plays up to his performance yet. I think that's going to take till week 5, and that's if he plays. Demont, we know, is likely going to be out, and then you got St. Brown also highly likely out, and there's not a lot to back that up in the bench. I'm saying if 2 of those 3, if he's running at a 60% or even to 30%, one of them is out. Those are some key pieces here. And the Bijan is a redeeming factor, but you're wrong, by the way. And I will call you straight out that you're wrong, that Rashawn is not the QB3 or the RB3 for the Bears. He is the number 1, and he's going to continue to be the number 1. Even though points wise,
well, I included Justin Fields in that as well. I included Justin Fields because he's more of a running back than Rashawn is. But
that is that. You know what? Thank you for that clarification, because I was about to tear you apart as if you had never watched the Bears, as if you are not even a fan of the Bears. It feels like you're not even a fan.
Wow,
but he's playing. He's outperforming and maybe not outscoring. I don't know how close it is between him and Khalil right now, but the Rashawn play there is a really good play here. You're right. He is number 2 behind Justin Fields. Unfortunately, Justin Fields hasn't been throwing the ball very much to his good old great target, DJ Moore. But when he throws it to him, he freaking catches it. And they're all long. It's get the ball to DJ Moore, more for more.
Well,
I think that's a good one to leave on because I'm getting all fired up again. But I'm going Sea Dogs on this because I got to have one Chicago team win. Okay, I got to have one Chicago team win. Anything you want to say? How are you going to fix your season, Seb? You're just going to keep doing what you're doing?
Burning Hawaii down. That's how I'm going to fix my season.
Yeah, burning Hawaii down. Give us your lasting words. How are you going to turn your season around outside of starting with a win this week?
Yeah, definitely going to start with a win. I'm going to start praying a little bit more because Lord knows we all need it. I'm going to start, getting on those waiver wires. I'm not a trade guy. I've never, sent a trade in my life, but I'd say y'all should keep your inboxes open because I might try something new in this league. And could be a little controversial. The commish might bat his eye a little bit, but I got plans in store. So you just got to watch out for room 40. That's all I'm going to say for today.
All right, buddy. Love you, Matt. Thank you for being on here. Love you all. Love all you daddies. Despite how badly you beat me, I will still be here every week talking about just how awful it is. Hopefully the Cubs can make the playoffs and I have something else to cheer for. Hawks are starting up here soon. We have our number 1 draft pick, Connor Bernard, who's going to be popping off.
We're done. Get out of here. Get out of here, ass.
Hey,
we love you, daddies. We'll see you next week.
If nothing else, I can still claim to be the DDC champion with some help from Glenn, but I've got golf, and don't take that away from me. That's it. I'm gonna go cry. I love you. Love you guys. Love you, Daddy.
Love you too.
Bye.
Later, daddies.
Justin is busting. Oh, I fucking whack. I'm just praying. Oh, Dobbins, come back.